3 unavoidable dating problems you will likely encounter when dating Latinas and how to overcome them. Number 1, the old language barrier. Now, when you go abroad, you'll see a lot of guys, they'll get by on Google Translate, they'll have basic Spanish or maybe no Spanish at all. However, this greatly impedes your progress because now you're competing with a small percentage of girls that speak English well or speak English only, which is why you went abroad to begin with, to avoid interacting with these types of girls, amongst other reasons. Even as your Spanish gets better to more of a basic or conversational level, you'll start to have more depth that you can build in your relationships, but you'll still always have that barrier. A lot of times, and for those who use Google Translate know exactly what I'm talking about, things don't necessarily translate as well as they should. Sure, the technology has gotten good to the point where it can translate things directly from the source language to the target language, but it lacks that deeper meaning. And a lot of times it's just flat out wrong. Subscribe to the channel and you'll see what I'm talking about. I share plenty of funny stories about friends of mine who fall into the trap of relying too heavily on Google Translate or other translating apps alone. I get a lot of pushback on this topic from other foreigners who say, well, I don't really need to learn Spanish, and then they wonder why they're not getting the same results I do. Not only can I live in the local environment, but I can really immerse myself and get that next level experience. Trust me, your relationships with women will become much better when you can actually communicate with them. Number 2, large mixed company social circles. Yes, this is largely a cultural thing, and you'll see that most of the points in this video are also culturally related as well. Now, coming from a North American or an Anglosphere mindset, a lot of guys think that, okay, well, if there's guys in her group, she must be with one of those guys. However, due to cultural factors, regional factors, or even a lot of times safety factors, women usually go out in mixed company. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean she's been with every guy in the group. Maybe there is an ex-boyfriend in the group. That doesn't really matter. What it comes down to is the fact that they maintain large social circles in these societies. So coworkers, brothers, cousins, extended relatives, or just random guys that came into the social circle, maybe by way of dating one of her girlfriends or even her in the past, and then they just kind of got embedded in that social circle. This is largely a cultural thing that you will have to learn to mentally overcome. If you have any sort of jealousy type issues, then maybe Latin America is not the place to be dating for you. Remember that she will always choose her friends and her other competing priorities or her relationships that she's nurtured over the long term prior to meeting you over you. If you're going about night game, day game, or even playing social game, you need to get good at learning how to engage the guys as well as the other girls and her in her social circle. Don't be the weirdo at the bar clutching your beer to your chest, waiting for that time to do your round or do your lap to go scam approach every single girl in the group. They will notice this, they will think you're odd, and they will likely not move forward with you. Rather, be the guy who is just a good social presence in general. You go out to make friends, to make new acquaintances, and hell, maybe even do business or hook up if you're lucky. Go out with that vibe of, I'm looking to meet cool people and have a good time in a cool place. Naturally, as an extension of that, you will create a vibe that will actually attract women to you. Looking to take your love life with Latinas to a whole nother level? I've helped countless guys master the subtle nuances interculturally between dating Spanish women and the women they're used to, and I'm here to help you too. Be sure to take advantage of my introductory consultation listed in the description below. This is another topic where I get a lot of pushback. Oh, we're talking about gaming guys too? Okay, no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that you need to be cool with everyone when you go out and about. Otherwise, she will have sneaking suspicions that maybe you have alternative motives that you're not directly communicating. And likely the Latins will see this as being weird or off. Number 3, lack of punctuality. There's no way of getting around this one, guys. Latin cultures are notoriously flexible with their time, so to speak. You'll confirm the night before, the day of, and even send something like, hey, let me know when you're free and I'll send the Uber your way, to which she'll also confirm. Doesn't matter. You can get multiple confirmations. Yes, Wednesday at 3 p.m. works. Yes, I can't wait to see you. At 2:50, hey, I'll let you know when to get the Uber. And then nothing. Maybe an hour goes by, maybe 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by, and she'll reach back out and say, okay, I'm ready now. Or here's what they like to do a lot too is, okay, give me 5 more minutes. Half an hour goes by. Give me 15 more minutes. An hour goes by. Give me another hour. Usually, and I compare this to how airlines do their delays, 15-minute delay, 20-minute delay, 45-minute delay, and before you know it, the delay is longer than what it would have taken you to probably just drive to your original destination to begin with. Keep this in mind, keep your timelines flexible, and when you schedule dates, I usually do a 3-hour type block. Now, as an American, I'm more on the punctual side, so when that time frame starts, I'll be doing other things if she's going to be inevitably late. When she does show up, let her know that, hey, you know what, we're kind of up against the clock because you didn't show up on time. Or book your dates for later in the day when you're completely free, and then that way you have the night open. Now, if you start seeing her frequently over the longer term, a lot of girls kind of flush out this cultural trait. They do understand that, yes, it's rude to be late, yes, it's not proper to be impunctual, and so on. Now, I say this as largely a cultural consequence, but you'll also realize when you come down and start living in Latin American countries that when she's more interested in you, all of a sudden the punctuality thing doesn't become a thing anymore. However, even in a perfect world, punctuality will still be an issue for you with the North American or English-speaking mindset. Again, there's no way around it. You just have to learn to be a little more flexible and schedule your time to where you can have flexible time slots. I suppose it really goes back to the old adage of better late than never. So that concludes part 1. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for part 2.